Well, my biological clock is ticking.
Debbie says Jerry is moving too slow.
I need some sort of commitment. I want him to know that I'm not going to be waiting around forever.
So she dated a guy
Very romantic.
who was built for speed.
I needed to score with this chick.
After he turns on the charm,
I actually carry a blanket in my trunk for that sort of thing.
and Jerry's blind date turns on the steam.
Natalie's by far the hottest girl I've ever gone out with.
Will they pick up the pace together or have a change of heart?
Change of heart. Now let's meet today's couple. Now they met on the romantic shores of a Mexican beach. They sipped margaritas, they danced the salsa, and they watched the sunset. Now 6 months later, even though they're best of friends, they worry that the sun may be setting on their dating life. So please welcome Debbie Sandberg and Jerry Prather. Welcome to the show. Now, today we decided to do things just a little bit different. Before the show, Debbie and Jerry brought us some items that they felt best represented some of the problems in their relationship, so let's get started. Debbie, you brought this big old hourglass here. Explain what's going on with this.
Well, my biological clock is ticking. I am 3 years older than Jerry, and I need some sort of commitment. So I want him to know that I'm not going to be waiting around forever.
Now, Debbie, is it that he's immature, or do you think he's afraid of commitment?
Immature.
Oh.
You should see his room. It's like a scene out of Animal House.
Jerry.
He's got Pamela Anderson posters everywhere, all over the place. He sleeps in a twin bed.
Is there something wrong with that?
Wait, you still sleep in a twin bed?
Twin.
Oh,
He makes good money, can't afford a bed.
So, Debbie, basically, you're just over that whole frat boy thing. Is that it?
Yes, I want him to grow up a little and take some responsibility.
All right, Debbie, you brought the dice. Jerry, you have any idea why?
I can take a guess. It's probably just because recently I've gone on a couple trips to Vegas with some of my friends, and
Guy's got to go. Right to go out with his friends. Debbie, do you feel he's not making you a priority?
She feels like she's not the priority in my life.
If you're not calling me until Monday when you get back from Vegas.
Oh, you feel she's putting the squeeze on you?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. She can be a little selfish sometimes.
Selfish?
Needs more attention?
Yeah, there's times where I want to go out with my friends or something like that, and we have plans. She has plans. Her plans get canceled. She expects me to cancel my plans and go out with her. And
Debbie, a little unfair. All right, let's move along here. Now, a roll of toilet paper. We got that here. That's the next prop. Debbie, you brought this.
Jerry loves his bathroom. I can't get him out. It's his favorite room in the house.
It's my sanctuary.
I mean, it's more than a sanctuary. I think he sleeps in there.
Would you say that Debbie's easygoing in your relationship if you had to categorize?
Debbie is totally hard to please. I'll plan on having like a nice dinner. We get reservations to go out, and it takes her 15, 20 outfits, which takes about 2 hours before she figures out what she wants to wear.
All right, now we have one more item here. We have the Ken doll. And Debbie, what's the deal with this guy?
Well, he thinks he is a Ken doll. He is obsessed with his looks. Oh, is my six-pack okay? I gotta do some more sit-ups.
I have a job where I'm sitting down most of the day, so I want to come home. I want to be able to work out, and she doesn't give me enough time to work out as long as I want to. And
you need that time.
I watch what I eat, and stuff. I just want to.
All right, now, Debbie, we know that communication is important in a relationship, right? You would agree. Mm-hmm. Debbie, tell us why you think Jerry chose this. That must be a phone ringing.
Well, I have an idea.
Go ahead. What do you think? Why?
She keeps calling me, and it's driving me crazy. At work all day long. So what's going on today? What's going on? How you doing? I'm like, I'm doing fine. What, do you have anything to talk about? Oh no, I just wanted to see. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, well, I'll talk to you later. She calls me back 2 minutes later. Anything else you want to talk about?
Debbie, a little obsessive there, huh?
Calls me again. Why do you keep hanging up? Are you mad at me?
Debbie, tell us why you came to the show today. Give us an explanation as to what you thought you hoped to accomplish.
Well, Jerry hasn't dated that much, and I have, and I want to make sure this is a well, he is younger than me, so I wanted to be a committed relationship. So I want to know that we have a future together. I mean, I love Jerry, but I wanted us to come here and be able to
see if that commitment is there or not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair enough, absolutely. Now, when we come back, we'll meet Jerry's date, and we're going to hear how her first impression of Jerry almost made her toss her cookies. Stay tuned. That bad, huh? Yeah. Debbie says that he likes a woman with the 3 B's, and they are brains, body, and big eyes. Well, we want one better, and we delivered him a straight A woman, which is attractive, adventurous, and a really good time. So say hello to Natalie Whitmore. Hello, Natalie. Good to see you. Now, Debbie, if you had to give Natalie a grade, how would you grade her?
I would give her a B for bimbo.
She's judging her already. She doesn't even. She's never.
Well,
even
she just first
never even
impression.
met each other.
It's
Can you believe
important.
that?
Jerry, what about any special preparations for the date? Did you have to go through any?
Yeah, actually, right when I got off work, I came into my house and I turned on the Change of Heart show because I wanted to get motivated. I watched the
for
show.
you. I like that. Yeah,
and you were great, by the way. You were great. It really motivated me. It got me psyched up for the date. I knew we were gonna have a great time, so I was really excited about it.
All right, Natalie, what about you? First time you laid eyes on the guy?
I almost threw up. Because, no. When I first walked into the restaurant, or in front of the restaurant actually, there's this big, huge, fat, slobby guy, and he was like looking at his watch, looking around. Figured my luck had to be Jerry. Walked up to him, asked him if his name was Jerry, and he's like, if you want it to be, and I'm like,
Wow, nice line. Once you've met the real Jerry, I hope you felt a lot better.
a lot better. He was very good looking, very down to earth, pretty out.
So, Jerry, was this spontaneous, or was this something that you thought out and well planned, or what?
Well, actually, I put a lot of time and energy into it. I was really excited about the date. I wanted it to be perfect, and I wanted to have a really good time. And I think Debbie got kind of jealous and kind of pissed off about the whole thing because I put so much energy into
If he
it.
had spent a quarter of the time he spent planning the state, he was talking to his friends, everyone at work, what should I do? And we wouldn't be here today if he spent that time in our relationship.
Now, Natalie, Debbie says that Jerry's kind of obsessed with his diet and his waistline. Did you notice that when you were out?
The only thing is, he kind of eats like a girl. Like, I'm from...
Oh, he does, huh? He's right.
I'm from Texas, so I'm used to guys eating like steaks and food, and this guy's eating like avocado salad, but that's okay.
And Jerry, what about your eating habits? Does that make you self-conscious that you eat like that?
It doesn't make me self-conscious. I think maybe she should feel self-conscious about what she eats. She eats like a total pig.
Like a truck driver.
Yeah, like a truck driver. That's hilarious. We went to the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach, and she ordered a huge piece of chocolate cake and a huge sundae. And I'm like,
Wow.
before I could even pick up the spoon, like she's plowing through it. It's like
Way to go, Natalie. Now, Jerry, besides that healthy appetite of hers, anything else that bothered you?
Well, not too much. She's very beautiful, obviously, and she has beautiful eyes. But the thing that really caught me was she dressed kind of plain. I expected her to be kind of a little bit more dressed out. If you would have wore something like this, I would have had a hard time keeping my hands
I
off you.
wore a nice skirt, just like this shirt. Do I look like a drabby dresser?
Not at all. Debbie, let me ask you, he complains that you take too long and that she dressed kind of drabby. Is he just too picky?
He's a total hypocrite. He complains that I'm trying to pick the right outfit for him, and then he says that she doesn't dress up enough. I mean, what do you want, Kendall?
Jerry, if you had to pick one, what would you say is Natalie's most attractive feature?
Well, I think it's something that probably a lot of people wouldn't pick, but I think that her little Bugs Bunny teeth. She does this cute little She has this little sexy overbite thing that was really turning me on when we were going out.
Maybe not the best description about Bugs Bunny teeth. Now, Natalie, would you agree with Debbie or disagree that Jerry's romantic or not?
I would disagree because I think he's totally romantic. We went out, we had a good time, we laughed together. It's not all about spending money on flowers and dinner. We had a really good time together, and it's more like romance is a feeling. It's not something you have to go spend $100 or whatever.
Now, Natalie, we heard the complaints earlier that Jerry spends way too much time in the bathroom. Did you have a problem with that on your date?
He was in the bathroom quite a bit, but the only thing that got on my nerves is we went to a bar after we went to the comedy club, and these 3 jerks kept hitting on me. It was really annoying, and when he was in the bathroom, these guys were all over me. I wish he would have just been there. They would have let me.
And you're like, hello, come on back out. Natalie, if you had to pick one thing that made the date less than perfect, what would that be?
He just talked about Debbie a lot. I mean, we were going on this date. It was just one night away, and he talked about her the whole time. I don't know if it was guilt trip, insecurity or what.
Now, Natalie, if he's talking about her that much, did it make it awkward that the two of you were spending time together?
Not really until the end of the date. We were in my Jeep. He was fixing to get in his car and go home or whatever. And there was a little moment of silence there. We could have like kissed or whatever, but I think he was spending too much time thinking about her and not enough time thinking about me. So.
Now, Jerry, at that time, were you realizing that she was starting to feel uncomfortable?
I felt the awkwardness between both of us, and I didn't know exactly how I wanted to end the date. And I have to admit it in front of like a national audience, I was a total dork. I like got out of the Jeep. And I'm like, okay, so
high five, dude.
I'm like giving her like a high five, and I was just like, I gave her a handshake for God's sake.
So Natalie, what date ends like that? Hey, nice going out with you, man.
It's all right. I've gone on a few dates, and I don't think I've ever had one end with a handshake.
Me either.
So I broke the ice and gave him a big hug at the end, and
it was really great.
At least somebody came to their senses. Yeah. All right, Jerry, hypothetically now, if Debbie was totally out of the picture, would the date have ended differently?
Without a question, and we would have stayed out. I didn't want to go home really, and I wish we could have gone out dancing or something, or just gone out for a little bit more.
Extended it a little bit. Okay, well, at least get beyond that handshake thing or whatever. Yeah. All right, now next we're going to meet the man that Debbie went out with and hear how Jerry actually tried to sabotage their date. We'll find out next. All right, welcome back. Now, we just heard what happened on Jerry's date with Natalie, and now we're going to meet Debbie's date. Well, she said that she wanted the type of guy that would actually appear on the cover of a romance novel. Well, since Fabio wasn't exactly available, we found her a romantic Romeo with a buffed out body. Please say hello to Rob O'Malley. Hey, Rob. Good to see you. All right, Jerry. Jerry, you got to look at the guy. Can you picture him on the cover of a romance novel?
More like the cover of a comic book.
What's that, Ken? Don't you have to go to the bathroom?
Rob, let's talk about your first experience, what it was like when you first met Debbie.
Well, no offense, honey, but it was torture. Let me tell you.
Torture?
I suggested all this fun stuff. Like, I want to go skydiving. She's like, no way. Bungee jumping? No way. A water slide park? No way. Amusement park? No way. I mean, it was just torture, let me tell you.
Just one suggestion after the other.
Finally, I said, hey, let's knock off a liquor store or something.
So, Debbie, what did you finally agree on?
Well, I love going to the beach, so I thought we could meet down at the marina and go kayaking for the day.
Kayaking. All right, so Rob, once you finally got something that you could agree on and do, how did things go?
Well, to be honest with you, I was a little bit apprehensive because on the phone she told me she was a teacher. Okay, and I was thinking back in grade school, and I was thinking more like creature, you know what I mean? And,
oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I was so pleasantly surprised, because when I came in and saw her, come on. I felt like I was in a Van Halen video. I was hot for teacher.
Yeah, definitely. And Debbie, what about Rob? Were you just as pleased?
Well, actually, he was a little bit shorter than he had told me he was on the phone, I thought. And he's a little bit more muscular than I like. He was wearing like a tight white t-shirt and his muscles are bulging out. But it was kind of like he'd been in the parking lot doing some push-ups.
Just getting ready for it. Yeah. Now, Debbie, you said you think Jerry eats like a girl. What about Rob's eating habits? What were they like?
Completely different. Actually, he was the busboy grabbed my plate away, and he's like grabbing his paw on there to get the final fry. So that's definitely different.
He didn't want anything to get away from him.
I'm a growing boy, you know? I mean, I like to eat like a man.
So, Rob,
Geraldine.
once you finished your meal and hers, did you guys finally go kayaking?
Well, actually, Debbie, honey, she disappointed me again because we went up to the kayak dude and he told us, kayak looked a little dirty. And Debbie didn't like that. And she said, will I get wet? And he said, ma'am, it is a water sport. And so, we ended up scratching that and we just went off to the beach.
Yeah, but at that point, you ready to just throw in the towel and say, I give up?
No, sir, Chris.
No?
No, sir.
Okay.
I mean, despite Debbie not thinking I was tall enough and everything, and Jerry is trying to sabotage everything, I decided I was up for the challenge. So.
Now, exactly explain how, because we heard about that earlier, but what exactly was he trying to do to sabotage this whole thing?
Well, it's kind of funny that Jerry was talking about her calling all the time because he kept calling. And, right there.
Listen, I called one time and it was like on accident. I was seriously trying to call. I was trying to call my parents' house, and they have the same area code. I'm used to dialing a number. I dialed the number, and like as soon as I picked up the phone, I'm like, Mom, and she's like, No. I'm like, oh, you know. So
now, Debbie, did you find that annoying? Did you buy it? Was an excuse? Oops.
Actually, I've been meaning to thank Jerry because he helped us break the ice. We had something to joke about the whole day. We're joking about it when I was on the phone with Jerry. Rob was like, "Oh, gotta go put my clothes on and stuff." You know, it was funny.
That was hilarious.
So, Debbie, at this point, sounds like you're warming up pretty much to Rob and your date.
Oh, completely. I mean, he's so funny. He's like a comedian. He was making me laugh all day long. We were having a great time.
So, Rob, things are starting to go good. Then what?
Well, you know, I kind of felt, speaking of the ball, I felt like it was kind of like a fourth quarter, and I was in a 2-minute drill, you know? I needed to score with this chick. Needed to score. She was playing hard to get, so, you know, I decided for a nice walk on the beach, you know, maybe something that Romeo over here should try sometime, you know.
Nice, so you're down there you're taking this nice walk on the beach. What'd you have in mind? A little beach blanket bingo, you know what I mean?
Well, don't you know it. I actually carry a blanket in my trunk for that sort of thing.
Absolutely. And who doesn't?
She wasn't into it at all. Of course, she got cold, and so we had to go on to Plan B.
So, Rob, what was Plan B?
Plan B, of course, was dinner. I figured if I wanted to get home with Debbie, I should take her to dinner, and maybe the way to her heart or anything else was through her stomach. Mm-hmm. So we went and we had a nice dinner. But first, before we went to dinner, we had to change our outfits because we were in like our kayak clothes.
Right.
So we had to change.
And that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, Debbie, was this like an endless buffet that just kept on going throughout the date?
Between all the food and the laughing, I had a stomach ache, but I was having a wonderful time.
It was all good.
It was great. It was a lot of fun. And he's very romantic.
Now, Rob, so sum up how things ended up. How'd the date end?
Well, to be honest with you, you know, I was desperate. I mean,
at this point, desperation's kicking in.
Yeah, really. Like, you know, between Jerry calling all the time and, you know, she was just, you know, I was trying with her. Finally, I get my arm around her, you know, kind of like this. And I was trying to get to first base with her, and I went for the kiss. I set it up, you know, just like they teach you in high school. You know, and,
did you get a base hit, though?
What?
Did you get a base hit?
I was struck out at first.
Wow.
She shunned me. She turned the cheek. She's like, you know, you saw her how she was getting a little nervous. You know? So and then she kind of promised me like, hey, maybe there'll be something later after the show, and we find out if we haven't changed our. So I'm thinking, you know, after checking out Jerry, I'm thinking, you know, I got it locked up.
All right, he's got some hope. Let's see if his confidence pays off here. Now, Debbie and Jerry have to make a decision: stay together or change your heart. During the break, they'll make that decision. We'll come right back and find out what it is. Truth, because time has run out in the hourglass, and during the break, Debbie and Jerry each made a final decision about the future of their relationship. Debbie feels Jerry doesn't take the relationship seriously enough, and after 6 months, she's looking for more of a commitment from him. And Jerry says that he loves Debbie's company, but she needs to give him a little more space. Jerry, let's get your decision first on this. Clearly had a good time with Natalie. You guys seem to hit it off. She's beautiful, as is your girlfriend. You have to make that decision, though. You were concerned about your age difference with Debbie being a couple years younger and all, but we need to know what you decided.
Well, Natalie's by far the hottest girl I've ever gone out with. She's very beautiful, obviously. We had a perfect date, but if I'm thinking about Debbie while I'm out with Natalie, I'm gonna stay together.
Stay together. Things didn't work out for you. All right, Debbie, we're going to get your decision here. Jerry says he wants to stay together. We sent you out on your date with Rob. You had a great time there. He did make a huge effort, obviously, to make you happy. You guys seemed to click once you finally got going there, but what's your decision?
Well, honestly, Jerry's date with Natalie really made me nervous. I feel like he's, you know, not ready to give up dating yet. And I had a really good time with Rob. He's closer in my age, you know, and he's ready to commit. My brain says to go with Rob, but my heart says to go with Jerry. So I'm going to
stay together. Rob, I know you were posing there and you were pretty confident, but sorry things didn't work out for you. Now, Debbie, Jerry, you're so cute together. I'm actually happy that you're staying together, and hopefully by coming on here, you can work through some of the issues that you had through the show. Thank you very much. That is our show. Thanks to Natalie and Rob, and good luck to Debbie and Jerry. We'll see you next time on Change of Heart. Look out, keep staying low.